Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Welcome, everybody, to MLB Lindies, also known as Live with Lindy, because MLB Lindies was technically last night, into the wee hours of the morning. But guess what? Worth it. MLB is here, and obviously this is the last day to take advantage of it. I added 10 to it. So there are 14 redemptions that are left. Promo code first pitch. So we'll just pretend like a team made the playoffs with the 162 available redemptions. And again, that's available to anybody in the Discord as well who wants to up their sub for another month at 50% off. It is just 100% about making sure that we are ready to rock here right at the beginning of this MLB season. Less than $1 a day. That is what I'm talking about. That is the good stuff, as was betting the NBA last night. A garbage time home run. Thought that just happened in the NBA. No. Happened to us yesterday, but boy, oh boy. What was this? Matt, you got me off invent yesterday? You can't bet everybody. You can't triple stamp a double stamp. You can't triple stamp a double stamp. I didn't get you off of shit. You know, fucking grown adult and take responsibility for your own money. You kidding me? You kidding me? This guy kidding me right off the bat? Anyway, you're loved. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that like button, everybody, as we begin. We got a lot to talk about here on this massive 14-game slate coming off of Monday. And yes, Gunnar Henderson goes yard for the first time. I need him to go yard very badly many times for my home run leagues this year. Got a lot of those. See, at least you're a good sport about stuff. Some people are not good sports about jokes. We learned that yesterday on Twitter as well. So there's that. Also, I should probably swear less in my life, but overall, I'm a good kid. I kind of go about my life. I have the things I believe in. I tend to be an all right human being. And, you know, I treat others with love and respect. And I also don't go out of my way to be ridiculous. And also, I know that. I know I was literally giving you shit. That's what I'm talking about. You got me off of the best plays, Lindy. That was me, 100%. Okay, we're not having sassy Lindy today. We need positive energy, Lindy. It's hard not to have some positive energy coming off of yesterday. And obviously, I'll get this off the screen as we begin our boarding walk. Where is this? I go here. Alrighty, y'all. We got ourselves lots of baseball to talk about. And just to recap yesterday, nuclear bomb in every regard, obviously more so in the NBA. When you pick out LeBron James' triple-double night before, and the triple-double is never in doubt at any point in the game at plus 850, that feels pretty good. Feels like I did my job okay. The baseball streets, well, we'll get into the ridiculousness that is this. Also, that's not tracking correctly, but you know, it's fine. It's a plus 3,000, plus 4,000 adjusted with a rescue gimme because somebody got hurt yesterday in one of my $1 cards and they gave me a $10 gimme. I'm like, well, might as well shoot for the moon for life-changing money on a $10 shot. And again, I'm not immune to trying to take big shots. I understand that I'm projecting it at like 800 to 1, but I'm getting paid 1,500 to 1. So that's fun. But last night, obviously NBA, some good stuff that occurred. Some really good stuff that occurred. 8.15x there. Felt good. If it weren't for the Ponce injury, that would have been 5 of 5. We double that up. So 4 of 5 there. Carter Jensen sucks. That was unfortunate. But also Carter Unit, he ended up getting one at bat against the lefty if you were watching that game. I had talked about that very last second. But we've got, what? 4 hours? 4 hours till first pitch of the actual games today. So before, it wasn't even a time crunch. We went right up to that Kansas City, Minnesota time. And now, yeah, Kevin Roth from yesterday. Make sure you're following him over there as well. We'll see if he posts a weather report. Not currently there, but we've got ourselves 3 plays that are already on my card and a lot of other things that are going to be on the way. How's everybody doing today, though? Because I feel good about the pitcher props yesterday. I got bailed out by a garbage time home run. Akamoto, what an absolute gem of a human being to get there and be positive in home runs there. Lost money Sunday on home runs, won it back on Monday and then some, and Saturday was a nuclear bomb as well. So I'm liking baseball back. I'm liking baseball back a lot. The legend, good stuff, my man. Thank you, Bank of Dennis. Good stuff. Moment of silence for Ponce. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Do we have any sound effects for that? That's the wrong one. We're not going to be doing sound effects here on this program. That's what we just learned. So that's cool. I'm going to turn the music down too, because Music needs to come on down low. It needs to be heard, but not heard. You hear? I think you do. Going to drop the knowledge? I hope so. I think I have some ideas, Rodney. I think some things we can do. What do you think of Feltner's under 3.5 Ks? Looks good in my projections. All right. We'll get into Feltner. There's a couple of other guys that we want to pinpoint, but what we've been doing routinely, one of the things you definitely want to get down in a habit of doing is just getting your pick count. I still have another rescue gimme. Mother of God. I'm not going to play that again for what it's worth. But follow me on Tails. That's useful stuff. Useful stuff. But it's been quicker to just kind of snag. If Underdog wants to cooperate for once in its life here, being a little difficult this morning. Women, am I right? That was a joke. I love my wife. We got ourselves, she'll also kill me. Strikeouts, here we are. Who did you just ask me about? You were asking me about Feltner. Mr. Feltner. Don't see him on my screen right now. The shit. I didn't even see his name there. Obviously 3.5 there. Let's take a look at the pitch count here. Recent starts, 66, 68. Didn't like work him up north of 75. I'd be surprised to get like 84 for sure. You got to be trimming that down to around 78. That might even be a little bit too much. I'm not sure. But a couple of things about Toronto. One, they don't strike out. I think you recognize that that is kind of the case. And I've got the split leaderboards. I actually kept this to just 2026 for today. Again, I'm going to change this as we go because I want the larger sample size. But just to give people an idea, right-handed pitching against Toronto, 19% K rate, 126 at bats so far, 133 WRC plus. Yeah, they're back up to their old tricks. 255 ISO, it's got to be leading baseball. Seattle actually higher, mainly because Luke Raley is breaking everything right now. I started putting together some custom leaderboards that we can start looking at on a daily basis together. You can track, hey, this guy, his expected numbers. We're going to put them right next to their actual numbers, and we're going to have an idea of who is due for positive regression, who is actually hitting the launch angles that we want him to, and there's a lot of things. I don't think age is probably going to be one that I click on, although I'm sure there's going to be somebody somewhere that says, I ran a test and age correlates to performance XYZ. And it's like, well, yeah, they're older. I got out of bed today and my neck hurt for no reason other than I slept. Like, age is dumb. Age is dumb. So we got blasts. We'll get into some of these individual things here as well. Swords. I love that we have swords as something written there. For anybody who follows Pitching Ninja over on X, that is obviously a fantastic deal. I want to add average launch angle. Zone swing percentage. I want to also have out of zone swing percentage. Something else that I think could be pretty interesting. Was doing some looking at the Seager stats yesterday. So shout out whoever it was that was in chat. I learned a lot of good stuff yesterday. So I think that there's some interesting stuff because really, it's one thing to list off stats on a page, but how do we apply them? How do we apply them when variables like weather are changing, wind are changing? You can say that this game has these similarities to these games, which again, might give us kind of a baseline, but different pitcher matchups, different bullpens, different teams, different age, it's a thing. But yeah, fly ball percentage, another one, kind of interesting. There we are. Feel good about those things. Let's update that. All right, so we got 2026 data, and I also want to have 2025 because we're going to expect this to come down, I would think, just a little bit on Luke Raley, just an idea that I had just now. I just came up with it. But there's no question. Guy's off to a fantastic start. Problem is you got a lefty on the mound, and he's not going to really apply to us today. So there is that. But set up a couple of custom leaderboards just for us to have some things that we can talk about, some things that we can kind of go, you can actually put this together yourself. I think it's probably one of the most underutilized things over at Baseball Savant is being able to actually take the things you care about and apply them, and having an idea when you can compare multiple batters across multiple games, getting an idea of what's overpriced, what's underpriced, what's fairly priced, what's like getting an idea of what the market is, and then also where your break even is. Like, there's so much that goes into that. And there's going to be people who do it in an even more refined way than me, than where it's just like, click 1,000 pitch simulation, click 1,000 pitch simulation. There are fielders that matter that you can definitely spike it up a little bit. Jackson Merrill, mother effer. Kevin McGonigal should have 2 home runs. So mad about that. He's not on the card here yet. We'll see if he ends up there as well. But we got the Park Factors leaderboard as well. Really bugs me that it's called Uniqlo Field at Dodger Stadium. Like, I shouldn't care that much, right? Am I just being sensitive, Eric? Yes? Don't answer that? Anyway, we're aware that Ryan Feltner, not exactly your best strikeout arm on planet Earth. There was a lot expected of this young man, but he's outside of Coors, where obviously he plays half of his games. That definitely can make things look a little bit loud in the sample size. So one thing I like to do for a lot of Colorado pitchers, just to get a better idea of who they're going to be, I don't know, everywhere else for half their games rather than in the worst pitcher's park on planet Earth, is I like to take the pitchers and I like to make sure that we have some custom filters on this. Why am I looking at this? Team stats, player stats. There we go. Where is it on this? Where did it go? I just want his road. I just want his road. There we go. Thank you. Mother of God. And we don't want 2026. I want to go back to 2025 to now. Sample sizes that matter. We're all about sample sizes that matter. That's what we care about. Shout out my guy Pete Shep, also hanging in here. Good people, good people. It was a rhetorical question. You were very, very, very sharp with that. I also don't have McGonigal on my card at the moment. He's guaranteed to get his tonight. Yeah, no. We covered this yesterday. I am a big fan of the overs with the roof open there. Probably should have fired it, huh, Eric? That would have been a great idea. It was nice to talk about things and then not, do jack diddly squat about it, but condition, roof closed, open air. There we go. 3-year rolling sample size. Now, there are some changes that have occurred within previous seasons here where, oh, okay, it's going to be different. Also, where the shit did this is all screwed up today. Is it having issues today? Is Baseball Savant having issues? There are 15 teams listed because that's how many people have played in 2020. That's how many venues we've seen. Eric. It just changed on me today. Very rude of them. But open air, 3-year sample size. You can see Chase Field 7th. Let's go to 1 year. How is this looking? A little bit better. A little bit better. More middle of the road. So feeling all right about it, but roof going to be open again. It's under 100 degrees in Scottsdale, and you're in downtown Phoenix where the stadium is. Dipshit, but I'll be nicer to myself one day. But overall, I don't think it's going to be a McGonigal spot for me today for a couple of different reasons. Casey Mize had a really nice season last year relative to awful Casey Mize. It's funny, him and Torkelson kind of figured it out around the same time. I find that to be adorable. They're friends. They also have to carry the weight of the world on their shoulders. But we look at this Arizona lineup, Casey Mize. We look at the Detroit lineup going up against Brandon Pfaadt. And Brandon Pfaadt had an awful, awful season last year. This guy got paid. Brandon Pfaadt got paid. And he got paid to suck last year. But there are some interesting splits for him as well. So had been giving up power to lefties and righties, but I want to pull up the last month of the season. If I could just find him today, that'd be great. My brain is not working yet. It's still not working. I promise it will be working here as we work through some of this. Also, if you don't like dark mode on Fangraphs, you have issues. I could never stare at the white screen for an entire day. Like, it actually would cause me physical pain. But yeah, 5 years, 45 mil, 9 mil, not a very good season for him. I guess it was kind of, I've brought this up for a couple of guys, probably a good contract for both sides to some extent, where you're locking in a little something. He has an opportunity to still grow, maybe hit his peak at 30, 31. Pitchers are pitching later and later and later into their careers these days. We also have, a lot that goes into it. But same thing that we were talking about, splits. Okay. Second half of the season. It got much better. Second half of the season, 3.68 FIP, 3.90 XFIP. Pretty okay with this. I mean, 1.36 whip isn't exactly where you want it to be, but really wasn't walking guys again. That is just something that he's capable of. And he found a way to really limit some of the power coming forward too. And so Brandon Pfaadt, you look at this on the aggregate, and I've been doing a little bit of quick trigger stuff. Brandon Pfaadt looked really, really nice in 2024, obviously leaning into that playoff run for them to the World Series, mind you. Brandon Pfaadt was like one of the dudes. He was that dude. I don't know about a bounce back season. I don't want to talk like I know. It's just, when you tell me if I have to bet something or I don't have to bet something on trying to be right, I'm obviously not going to bet something. No risk. Like, what sucks is when you discover something, you don't back it, and then you're right. Like, that obviously sucks. Like, apparently I talked somebody off of Gunnar Henderson yesterday. I honestly don't remember that conversation, but Gunnar Henderson's going to hit a lot of bombs off of righties, barring injury. Gunnar Henderson had an abysmal season last year. It's not that hard to expect positive regression, but like, we're talking about every baseball game, we are taking large sample size and applying it to small sample size. We're taking, in some cases, a good hitter up against a bad pitcher. Sometimes you're taking a terrible hitter against a great pitcher. And it just comes down to the probability of what you project out the thing to occur. And if the number is paying you more than you believe you should, you bet it. If you think it is paying you less than you believe it should, you don't bet it. And most things, because of vigorish, because of, where the lines are set, you can overestimate your edge very, very easily. And I think baseball is probably the most difficult, because in basketball, we're drawn to a tight range of outcomes. How many times is it like, oh, you got 34, I had 34, over 34 and a half PRA. I don't think people realize how tight the distribution is between 28 and 38 for that specific player. There are going to be very few circumstances he puts up less than 20. There's going to be very few circumstances he puts up over 40. But everything is price and probability. In baseball, the worst hitter on planet Earth can go out and hit 2 jacks. The best hitter on planet Earth facing a gas can could go 0 for 5. That's where you have to be able to look at it through the lens of doing the right stuff every day, being disciplined, shopping for the best odds, and putting yourself in the best position to be successful, which, again, this is my personal opinion. And you can see there are some new things that are already in this bar over at OddsShopper with these presets. I strongly, strongly urge you, no matter where you live, no matter what you do, you could be in Canada, you could be in Texas, you could be in Florida, you could be in California, you could be in Minnesota, you could be in New York, you could be in North Carolina. I don't care where you live. But one, you want to get access to as many books as you possibly can. Two, you want to make sure you are getting the best lines for every single thing that you play. And I know it sounds so rudimentary to some of you, but I know a lot of you have been like, oh, well, it's plus 220 here and I already have $100 in my DraftKings account. And you disregard that it's plus 230 at FanDuel, plus 240 at BetMGM. I don't want to sign up for another book. I don't want to take advantage. Okay, that's fine. Understand, though, that you're over 100 bets giving up expected value. Over 1,000 bets. You're giving up quantifiable money by not taking that 10-cent difference, by not taking that 20-cent difference, 30-cent difference. Sounds very basic to some people, but it is so unbelievably important. And when I'm working through Pick'em on different things too, there are worlds where it's just like, man, oh, it's a bummer you can't play it. Or, I post something Bet365 because I have access to Bet365. And so I post it and I have the bet ticket and everybody's just like, oh, that's the best number. I get it. I don't want to claim the greatest thing of all time when a plus 800 homer that is plus 675 best available at Hard Rock, plus 550 at every rec book. It is what it is, though. What am I supposed to do? Not take expected value? So I want to keep the accounts healthy, but just get access to as many of these as you humanly possibly can so that you can make more money over any long-term sample size. But anyway, that's my soapbox moment for today. Let's get into some bets, shall we? Oh, yeah, Brandon Pfaadt. I expect positive regression for him. 127 expected ISO. That's decent enough stuff there. 2024. You go to 2025. He just gave up power to both sides. It just became a problem. 214 expected ISO last season. 206 expected ISO to lefties last season. But a better second half of the season. He got off to such an atrocious start that I'm still just going to hold out hope that he's going to figure it out. So I don't think it's that hard to expect positive regression for his last season. But I mean, this first half, man, boy, was it tough sledding. Boy, was it tough sledding. Just getting tuned up. I mean, he got tuned up when he first got in the big leagues in 2023, but it is what it is. Yeah, Florida, we have Onyx, Bovada, and Hard Rock, but Hard Rock has the worst odds most times. Honestly, I think I disagree. I think Hard Rock's had some pretty soft numbers to start off this season relative to years past. And I do try to be very, very selective early in an MLB season about home runs, just because I know, one, people are always paying attention to them because of what's happened the last couple of years. But two, sometimes books just come in with the fury of 1,000 suns, knowing that they're going to get action no matter what number that they post. And Hard Rock tends to have, I guess we can just apply it right now. I can, keep going. First guy right off the bat in terms of edge, Chandler Simpson. I do not want to bet a guy who has, 0 major league homers and has won at any level of baseball. But shit, we've got underdog that's popping up here for some of these home run odds, which is pretty insane. Ketel Marte there, plus 400. Beating out DraftKings, beating out FanDuel, beating out Fanatics, beating out Circa. Or no, Circa beats it out, plus 425. So getting to our first sharp book here, plus 425. Kalshi's matching Circa right now. Probably an all right way to post action if I'm being honest, but plus 400. I mean, there's still, comparatively to FanDuel, going to be a sharper rec book. Plus 650, best available Hard Rock. Next one, Okamoto, the king of the people yesterday. You got Ketel Marte plus 460. I never saw plus 460 or I probably would have bet it. I talked about him last night. I thought I'd getting, there is a plus 500 now. Yeah, I'm probably going to end up betting Ketel Marte. You guys can go ahead and snipe it here first, because again, my job is to be helpful to you as well as make money for myself. Sometimes, could I just rip $100 on Ketel Marte? I could. Also, just would rather play 15 different home run plays where I'm doing top down betting and also integrating my own projections and making sure that I'm doing smart kid things and then live with that variance rather than just one individual play for 100, because that's why we trim it down to quarter units. We do some flat staking. We do some other things. Again, quarter Kelly, half Kelly, those are all beautiful things. Full Kelly, boy, full Kelly makes you feel uncomfortable. I remember that once upon a time. Had a poker buddy who was explaining it to me back in like 2015. Calculate it all out by your edge. And I'm like, so I'm putting 5% of my bankroll in play? Goes, well, yeah, that's how it works. I'm like, jeez, criminy. That's why half Kelly and quarter Kelly exist, because one time, one guy blows out his knee, and that's all she wrote for your bankroll. Good times. Oh, do I love Bubba Chandler? Should we have the Bubba Chandler conversation? Do people want that? Why it is that I just keep jerking this guy off on every show for like the last year? I remember before the season last year, I was so mad at the Pirates not bringing him up right away, because I was like, this is obviously an owner who's not going out and trying to win. And then, well, they put together an actual baseball team this year. It took until August 22nd for us to actually see Bubba Chandler in action. And what is it that I like so much about Bubba Chandler, you ask? What is it that makes him such a sexy individual in my eyes? Well, let's hope it's baseball related. But if it's not, I apologize to his family. That's very inappropriate. And, he's just a 23-year-old man trying to live his life. Boy, he looks like Paul Skeens sometimes. Boy, does he look like Paul Skeens sometimes. But decent enough grade. $3 million signing bonus. Doesn't suck for a 19-year-old to get that. All right. So the first thing that stood out to me when I looked at Bubba Chandler once upon a time was this. So Stuff Plus, talked about it a little bit the last couple days as well. I mean, we've been doing this show for, baseball hasn't even been back for a week. I think the first one we did was last week on Tuesday, where I covered some of this, but Stuff Plus gives us an idea of each individual pitch and how it's going to grade out and how it's going to play. And I mean, I cannot tell you how good this is for like an 8-game sample size. And I felt this way before he got to the big leagues, before we had all of the data, before we had everything else, because you would go through a AAA and you would just watch him mow down dudes. Look at this K rate throughout every single level of baseball. He has maintained around a 30% K rate. Last season, 25% at the big league level, 3.2% walk rate, which I think is definitely going to come up if we're being honest, and 0.93 whip right out the gate. Now, he had a 343 BABIP at AAA. I think there's a world where this comes way down. Way down. And this is kind of what's being projected for him at Zip Steamer. The bat, kind of more in line with me. At least the bat X is a little bit more. Derek Carty in line with me a little bit more. 3.93 FIP. But here's where I just vehemently disagree with projection models this year. I would almost wager with them. You know what? Actually, I'll make the baseline this. 23.6%. I won't yell at 23.6%. I won't freak out about 23.6%. But the whole point with Bubba Chandler is this fastball is so live. This thing, having this occur already, and he has a 111 pitching plus, I cannot tell you the pain the hitters are going to be in once this pitch just locks in at the big league level. Because there were some weird starts. There were some really, really weird starts within this game log. He faced the Rockies, which is obviously the softest place to land. And a lot of these were piggyback starts. So like he was like the second half of the progression here. And I ended up betting his Ks over 5.5 plus 130. I also ended up on first 5 here, minus 120. Kid's got the steel trap. But anyway, St. Louis, Pittsburgh up here. I mean, there's not a lot of contact, and he did get tuned up by the Brewers. Guess who else tunes up everybody? The Brewers tune up everybody. He had one abysmal, nightmarish outing. Everything else is massively, massively clear. And I swear to God, I could not love the Brewers anymore for this. Because if you aren't looking at this by a game situation, you don't realize that this is like pure BABIP. 0 homers, 3 walks. Again, a little self-inflicted there. 999. Like a German. 999. Are you kidding me? This is just day and night from every other start that we saw the entire time. And if you want to get a little bit more granular with that specific start for Bubba Chandler, 68 pitches. I believe it was still another one of those piggyback relief appearances. I don't think it was in a general start, but we're still getting 98. Was hitting 100 plus. Again, major league hitters are better, man. But slider, still sitting in a good range. Everything looked pretty fine, even in that one spot. Other than, like, I don't know, maybe hit the strike zone, Bubba. Maybe hit the strike zone. But that was really his only outing. Did he allow any walks? He didn't have more than one in any other appearance his rookie season. And I don't even know. I think he's still under rookie consideration. I don't think he met the innings threshold to be a rookie. Why is his outs only 14 and a half? We'll talk about that because I think that there's a world where that enters our sphere as well. But you got to always look at pitch count because pitch count's such an important part of this and making sure that we are invested in the right way. Man, 2.5 earned. The 1.5 we can take a look at as well because, I mean, I couldn't be higher on a pitcher. Doesn't help that Sal Stewart's just smashing, but dominates a spring start, strikes out 8 batters over 5. Useful. But the main thing, the thing that we care the most about in this debut is what the pitch count is. 57, 66, and then it's been a while since 18 days ago that was. So he's had a couple of bullpen sessions. I'm sure he's still working himself a little bit into shape, but 66, I put him in for 80 for today. I feel pretty comfortable with that number. Obviously he could get less if he gets blown up, he could go more, but I do prefer the strikeout stuff because if you give me 14 and a half outs, if you give me 15 outs, you're looking for 6 strikeouts. Hitting that over. 6 strikeouts. 40% K rate. Now, against Cincy, I think it's somewhat attainable. And again, we're talking about small sample sizes. I'm getting plus 130, so it's not a 50-50 proposition either, because if I took that and 25% K rate, don't forget, batters get on, that's going to go away from it too. So it's not just like he's facing 15 batters and that's all she wrote. Guys are going to get hit. Guys are going to get hits. Guys are going to get walked. Hopefully not. We don't want to run that pitch count, young man, but you give me 18 outs, I feel very, very confident against Cincinnati that this is an advantageous number. Because this Cincinnati team, this season, we're just looking at it this season, 3/1/2026, just to have an idea of what I'm looking at. Cincinnati, 25.6% K rate, 15.1% walk rate. This is kind of insane, though, too. 181 ISO, 102 WRC plus against right-handed pitching, which is what Bubba Chandler is. And he comes in with that filthy fastball that had a much higher whiff percentage on it in days of yore. AAA level. Looked all right. Some of the expected home run numbers by Park, I always think that is interesting. Fastball mile per hour. Yeah, 98th percentile. That seems good. Seems pretty decent. And again, I just really think we're going to see a big step up for how this fastball plays this season relative to how it did in a very, very short stint last season. Still a 30.8% whiff percentage on it. Gave up a little bit more launch than you'd see. 405x woe, but not what you want to see. 54% usage, not what I would want to see. But I could not buy enough Bubba Chandler stock. Whatever it is, I couldn't. So let's apply it now to making money, because there are strikeouts available to us in this Cincinnati lineup. Looking at some of these, Noelvi Marte might not be an everyday player, and that's kind of wild for Cincinnati. You got Ellie, he's a problem. Suarez, problem. Friedel, problem. Like, why is Friedel striking out? Why is this happening? Again, it's small sample size. Super small sample size, but I took a lot of the baseline rates from last season. So now let's just open up this sample size. So you saw 102 WRC plus. Team's not drastically, like Sal Stewart could end up being the chosen one. That is very live. You'll go to my leaderboard dash that I just had up a second ago, and he just sits atop of everything for this year. Where is it at? Ex-Woba. Here you go. Leading baseball in ex-Woba through like no at-bats of any substance or sample size. But the point remains that he's off to a ridiculous start. 460 expected ISO, 72.3 bat speed, which a little bit slower than some of the big boys. I mean, and yet it doesn't matter because he's just tuning it up. 99.8 average exit velocity, highest in baseball and batted balls in play. Anyway, oh yeah, the case I'm making is for betting against this specific team. So against righties, we open up the sample size to include last season. Things are going to change a little bit. So Cincinnati, 23.4% K rate, 97 WRC plus, 153 ISO. All of those are steps down, but there's a couple hitters that change the difference and change the magnitude. Specifically, Matt McLain. I love Matt McLain. I'm a big Matt McLain fan. Matt McLain is going to strike out a lot more than once every 9 at-bats. That's currently what he's striking out. He's going to strike out more than that. What is that? 2 strikeouts he's had this season? Like 18 at-bats? Is that what we're talking about? Is that the... That'd be sick if I did that off the top of my head, right? Strikeouts? 2. Yeah. Go me. Math is fun. I'm sure a 4th grader could have done that, but that's fine. We'll overlook that because I'm doing it on the fly on a show. But Ellie De La Cruz, we know the strikeouts. Suarez, we know the strikeouts. Trevino doesn't strike out like at all. And he has a 40% strikeout rate. Jose Trevino, from what I remember, never strikes out. So that's pretty wild. That's a small sample size thing right here. Like I just kind of know that one off the top of my head. Will Benson does strike out a ton. He'll be in the lineup. Stevenson, decent enough. McLain really strikes out. And Sal Stewart, this guy struck out a lot in a very limited sample last season. What? Very nominal at bats. Very, very few. 58 plate attempts. Yeah. Boy, he hits the ball hard, though. But he strikes out a nice number 2. So I really like our Bubba Chandler backing here. And Brandon Williamson, not to go too crazy on the southpaw. When you look at him, I just was like, did they just use the same picture for, like every lefty in Cincinnati? Every lefty that's ever pitched for Cincinnati looks exactly like Brandon Williamson. Long neck, Nick Lodolo looking goofy fuck, just living his life. Shout out Brandon Williamson. I have over 5.5 Ks for Chandler plus 110. Don't slam it. We're not slamming anything early in the MLB season. Half unit looks nice. If anyone's interested, my guy John the Bettis just fired Benintendi home run plus 755 on Kalshi, plus 600 is the next best available price. 0.25, he's batting 3rd tonight. Always good to be paying attention to lineup order. And one thing we're going to be doing as we go throughout this program is checking out lineups as they roll in. Specifically, Corey Seager. I have a pretty good history with this guy. I'm a little bummed out that he'll be batting 3rd instead of 2nd. But such is life. You're going left, right, left. Army lineup. Then he just muck it all up with Josh Smith, Evan Carter. Like, everybody is live to bludgeon Zach Eflin's brains in. Now, Eric, why were you so advantageous? Like, why were you so high? I stayed up till 1 a.m. last night. Not to like pat myself on the back again. I'm looking at baseball, how difficult is my life. But I stayed up to snag 2 numbers. We got closing line value on a plus 350 home run. Pretty tough to do, if we're being honest. True odds plus 316. Everything in our data checks out, and me doing smart kid things last night, which again, it's my job to do. So once again, stop patting yourself on the back, but like, I very much enjoy playing the long game, if you will. Now, this is a little bit ridiculous. Like, it's $10 to win 15 grand on Alvarez combined with it. We'll talk about Alvarez for a quick second as well. Brian Bayo. I think I'm done with the Brian Bayo thing. I think I'm tired now. I'd like to go home. Forrest Gump, anyone? All right. But got this at plus 350 last night. Best available plus 300. I thought it was a ridiculous number, actually, at plus 350. Now, at plus 350, you're obviously getting pretty low break-even odds. You're getting some odds that don't typically 22.22% implied probability on plus 350. Well, I have him hitting a home run a lot more often than that in this specific spot. In fact, this might be the shortest home run, like non-Ohtani Judge home run play that I've seen in a while. I had his break even around plus 240, and it's still playable at plus 300 in my opinion. Now, from market-based perspective, from top-down betting, it'd be all right to stay away over any like long-term where you're really trying to identify your edge, which available with the odds shopper screen. We've got negative 3.7% edge right now. That's comparing a lot of the sports books that are across the way. They're all charging you a price in order to play it. But technically, there's one-way markets, so they're not charging you anything on the other side because it doesn't even exist. But I always like having these bounds like at Bet365. Really shout out them. I know they get a lot of flack for being soft, and, well, they are. But minus 370, plus 290. At least we're getting a range where we can say they predict XYZ for the home run. That it should be a fair price of like plus 335 or 345. But they're giving you plus 290. But the upper bound being minus 370, well, they're not providing that price out of the goodness of their heart. They're doing it because on the other side of it, they think that there might be value, giving you the opportunity to do it. It's nice to have these it's good to have these guardrails. That's why we like two-way markets. I do not like this one-way market stuff, especially in Pick'em, where we see what you're doing, Pick Six. We can see it every single day. We see it every single day. One-way markets are here to kill me. I have Tails though. I'm wondering if VIP is just the same as Discord access. Yeah, so VIP and Discord access are the same thing. Yep, they're the same deal. But yeah, 2+ got nuked down. Your boy got very nuked down on this. So why did Eric decide that today would be a good chance to try to just... It's not because it's early in the season and I'm trying to recapture the magic of days of yore. I don't need to recapture shit. I need to make good bets on a day in, day out basis. And I also know it's fun to bet $10 and win 350 potentially, especially if you project it out to be positive EV, which is what I did. And we fired this up plus 3,500. Actually on Underdog right now, if you look at the adjustment for it, for what I did, got some like $1 cards existing there. There was a gimme pick thing that I got for one of the players getting injured on a card, like one of my small cards from yesterday. But Corey Seager, 1.5. Yordan Alvarez, 1.5. Getting paid this when I have the break even closer to plus 900 900X plus 90,000. Now, there's some bullshit in the middle of that purely because there are so many moving parts of trying to hit 2. First off, it doesn't happen that frequently in baseball. So why here? Why today? Why do I feel like it's positive EV here in this spot? And why are we getting closing line value on a ridiculous market other than maybe? It's not a market people tap into, and there's a lot of risk now for sports books to have this available because, well, we said that this is how we're going to do this. Okay. We go to the alt lines market. We go to 1.5. Best available plus 3,000 at Hard Rock right now. 2,200. It is 1,750 at Hard Rock. Okay, so maybe that Hard Rock thing we talked about was going a little too far into it, but plus 2,700 at a sharp book there. 2,500 at Bet365. We are getting closing line value. Maybe you can post John Kalshi and get somebody to be like, yeah, I'll fill an order for $350 to win 10. Always fun. Hey, if it's positive EV, it's positive EV. Doesn't matter what the price is, but well, it does matter what the price is. It means that it's positive EV because of the price, but plus 3,000 we're looking at here. And I did the same for Yordan Alvarez, who I think I might actually be getting reversed on, at least like it looked like I might. Plus 375, plus 4,000 now. I played him at 3,500 because it was identical sitting there at the same price. If I had been patient, woken up in the morning, got myself an extra buck here, could have gotten $5 extra here. I'll live. If they both do it, I'm obviously going to go on vacation. See you guys next month. But yeah, here we go. We got ourselves an awesome opportunity. Zach Eflin, again, price and probability, the name of the game. 258 expected ISO against lefties here, 14.6% K rate. Feel pretty confident you can't find worse numbers than that in baseball. And one thing that's going to happen for Corey Seager with his 302 expected ISO here is he really doesn't strike out against righties, period. And if you're not putting him out and he's getting barrel on ball here, Corey Seager does mammoth things. Corey Seager's that dude. So let's go by 2025, 2024. Let's go and kind of take a look at all three of these here. Lots of opportunities, friends. Lots of opportunities for a guy. And Sal Stewart just breaking everything because it's just not even fair. Not even fair. But we got all of our custom columns set up here. I want to get like 100 at bats. Sorry, Sal. I don't know if you're going to make that cut. All right. So now we've got ourselves Corey Seager right here. 400x WOBA, 284 expected ISO. I'm going to be up near the tippy top here with everybody else in the top 20, but you might notice 284 for him, 11.6 degree launch angle. Look how all of the best hitters in baseball have an average launch angle north of 10. All the guys that you think of as having crazy short home run odds, Judge, Shohei, because we're combining obviously different years that are going to exist with them there. Kyle Schwarber, Mike Trout, Juan Soto, Cal Raleigh, like all the way down the line. And then you run into my boy Yordan as well for today. One thing Corey Seager does very poorly relative to them is barrel percentage. Corey Seager traditionally is going to have a lower amount of barrels than these guys do. 15.3% is much lower than 22, 17, 17.3, 18.4, 18.9. Aaron Judge, 27. I mean, just ridiculous stuff. Corey Seager being able to have a sitting duck type pitcher, while it won't really change as far as because he doesn't strike out all that much, these other guys tend to. Like Juan Soto, not as much, even though he went through that period last season. But Ohtani strikes out a bunch, Judge strikes out a bunch, Trout strikes out a bunch, Kerry Carpenter strikes out a bunch. They are swinging for the fences constantly. So they're going to get a lot of strikeouts. And so they don't have these softer hit balls in their portfolio where Corey Seager is still making contact and not striking out. He's almost getting punished for what is a skill in baseball and counts the same. A ground out counts the same as a strikeout. But the difference is people will cite barrel percentage for one guy, and they won't take into account all the other garbage at bats that didn't result in a batted ball. Do you see what I'm saying? There's this awful little habit we get in of being like, because we are looking at, you're not getting a 0% by not getting the ball in play. They're only talking about the balls in play here. So Corey Seager sometimes gets prices out of the middle of nowhere that are not nearly as short as they should be. Because everybody knows, Kyle Schwarber has a 59.6% hard hit, 20.8% barrel percentage. Well, Corey Seager, he's a lefty too, 15.2% barrel percentage, much lower, 15.7% much lower. I think we make up more than 7% difference by having Corey Seager strike out against right-handed pitching only 16.9% of the time. How much does Kyle Schwarber strike out against right-handed pitching? Of course, they're starting against the lefty. Oh, good. They do have Zach Littell as the guy, so that's good. 26.8% last season. More than that 7% gap in hard hit. Your boy Feltner got you some CLV. You should have played it. I'd say that I had no problem with it. Under 3.5 Ks. Scratch Gilbert going with Mullins over 0.5 hits. Mullins over 0.5 hits seems pretty fun. I like to do bad things with my friends. That's J Metal K. John the Bettist also made an appearance here on this show, firing up his home run play there. Andrew Benintendi getting that low-hanging piece of fruit. I did it yesterday. I hope it works out the same way for you today, my friend. So I have no clue what to make of this game. One thing I didn't talk about last night, because I was delirious, if I'm being honest, but also, I'm a normal person. I've looked at baseball all day. Let's look at Brandon Woodruff post being dinged up, because I do find this to be interesting. Splits. Going by monthly. I want to go monthly. Thank you. September, October. What happened? What happened? Went ballistic there, but I mean, just an unbelievable tail end here. Just went completely ballistic. Looking at the 2025 season, completely ballistic. And you can look at the monthly here as well. But like season for it, ridiculous stuff. Second half of the season was not nearly as nails though. 3.72 xFIP, 3.12 FIP. First half of the season, how about a 0.70 xFIP in your gullet? How does that feel? Lindy, oh, hello, 3 Kings stuff, 196. How are you this fine day? Eflin over 2.5 earned runs, Seager over fantasy, Bubba over 4.5 Ks. What do I think, boss? I would have to see the prices next to him too. I could say something could hit, like Bubba is at 5.5 strikeouts, kind of the prevailing number. I'm assuming 4.5 is at least minus 155, minus 165, right? Eflin over 2.5 earned. Oh, I really don't like Eflin today. I think Eflin is going to get worked by those lefties. Absolutely worked. The other thing about Eflin, Where am I at? Baltimore. First game right out the gate. Man, we still have 3.5 hours till baseball starts. What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to be on NBA Live before lock at 6 p.m. Eastern time over on the Stochastic YouTube channel. But other than that, what am I going to do? Like make a PB&J and just hang out with Duke? Oh, okay, fine. I'll do that. But 413 Woba. Much better against the righties, but then there's some quality righties. Obviously, Jake Berger, power. Josh Young like a horse, power. Danny Jansen, better than your average catcher. Get that lineup come through already? No. And of course, Wyatt Langford in the 2-hole. Professional major league hitter, Wyatt Langford. Best of luck to everybody. Speaking of the NBA, what about it? Watch out, potential under 1.5 earned runs incoming. For who? Oh, we need to have the Shane McClanahan conversation? About what? In regards to what? I'm just happy to see him back. I'm happy to see him alive and well. He's a beautiful human being when healthy. Range of outcomes are wide, bro. Hasn't pitched for 2 years. The guy's arm was falling off. We have not seen him pitch forever. I doubt we get this. I really do. Very highly doubt we get that. $55, 73, strikeouts intact. 4 blanks over the course of the last couple spring trainings. Because again, he got hurt. This is wild looking at this box score purely because this was spring training a year ago before his arm fell off. And then it's picking back up 4 games of spring training this season. So 73 being his high pitch count, this guy going over 85 would absolutely floor me to no end. Would floor me. In fact, I do think 75 is more of like a realistic expectation as opposed to 85. So sub 80 pitches. Feel pretty confident in that. This guy, when elite, or when healthy, is elite and was one of the best lefties in baseball. So what do we want to have a conversation about with him? Under 5.5 Ks is going to be a pairing for me with John the Bettis collab. Okay, interesting. Can't get out of pitches. Yeah, none of them are good. None of his pitches are good. Nothing about Eflin is good. Dude drove me nuts. And then finally, all of that power got realized last year. Finally, he paid for the sins of his family. Although, again, I'm always talking about this from a purely baseball sense. I don't want to, say that I hate somebody. Like, I don't actually hate them. I just might think that they are very, very bad or something of that nature. A lot of spin on specifically that sweeper, and that's about it. I can't look at anything else that I'd remotely be interested. 660 slugging against, 300 batting average. Friends, we have CLV on a plus 350 home run for a reason. Nothing. That one Tampa Bay year, I could lose my mind talking about Zach Eflin in Tampa. I could actually lose my mind. Look at this. Tampa Bay, like a dead flat zone. There were some ballparks where if he was giving up the same power to lefties, you would have saw him get ding dong dead. Ding dong dead. Another good ballpark for lefties, Dodger Stadium. Boy, oh boy. Lots of fascinating ways. Lots of ways to watch Zach Eflin hang himself out there. So we're hoping 2 Corey Seager bombs. And the last part of that equation, just to close the loop on it. Look at the Orioles pen. So a lot of the time, they've had gobs of lefties. Not really anymore. And one of them pitched 34 pitches on Monday and 33 pitches on Saturday. So the chances of Grant Wolfram, whatever that is, coming out and pitching against Seager in a high leverage spot is pretty high. But I think he's completely out of consideration to pitch today. 35-year-old, 70, almost 70 pitches in 2 of the past 3 days. I'd be floored. I'd be shocked if we saw him pitch again. Like today, not ever again. And Grant Wolfram, don't know a lot about him, but I felt pretty confident knowing that Baltimore had 2 lefties to go to. One's been pretty worked already, and the other one appears to be a low-grade pitcher who's kind of there in as filler. .07 xFIP, AAA last year. Is that real? Oh, very small sample size. See, stuff like this gets annoying because it's like, all right, he's had all of 2 games there. But the point remains, a lot of righties, a lot of platoon opportunities for Corey Seager throughout this lineup and for all the lefties, and obviously Eflin, the pride and joy. What did I do? Think me and the wife are going to make you sleep in the car? Oh. Well, I love you too, but I can take a nap. DraftKings wasn't doing King of the Court. I would. That's fair. King of the Court's going to be beautiful. How are we going to pick against Luka today? Don't even know. Have you talked about Painter today? Not yet. We'll talk about Painter as well. Who got the picks? I've a lot of them thrown in. I give you another free one that I threw out there. Bubba Chandler, anything with a plus sign in front of it over 5.5 strikeouts. I like. Fastball is going to be nasty. So let's cover Painter because it's always good to learn how to cover some of these new pitchers that you've never really seen before. Now, brought it up last night. Pretty decent prospect grade that exists on him. 6'7", tall drink of water. Gonna paint the corners tonight. That was really bad. Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, talked about them, but let's start getting concerned, shall we? 1.55 whip in AAA in 22 games started. Okay. Hey, Abrams further up in the lineup. About damn time. Watching him bat 5th was just stupid. And Joey Wiemer's just going to be in the lineup every day, and Jacob Young's never going to be in the lineup anymore because apparently Joey Wiemer can just hit for 800 or whatever the shit he's hitting right now. I think it's 800. But Andrew Painter, covered him for a while last night. Not a lot of love. Yeah, no kidding. So many questions, man. And we'll get some more pitching data on him today once he makes the debut, but I will say this isn't crazy inspiring. I'm going to say not crazy inspiring. Looking at his spring training numbers, so you can click on ST and just have it pop up here as well. 2.81 FIP, 3.91 FIP. Both times he was in spring training. 3.91 this season. 0.77 whip in, what's the sample size? 4 games started. Yeah, I see why they're giving him a look. What do the Phillies have to lose right now with what they got out of that first weekend? My Lord Almighty, was it awful. So lots of ways where I think we're going to see some interesting stuff. Some interesting stuff from Painter, but the swing and miss, I don't think is going to come along for the ride at the big league level. 18.3% at Steamer. The bat a little bit higher on him. Walk rate was atrocious. No, not atrocious. Just fine. 1.40 whip. I don't have a lot of hope for him today. Hit that like button if you could. Hit that like button. That'd be great. What about Kaiser hits? So we can take a look at what he's got, this painter character. Just got thrown off. No, thank you. Under 4.5. I feel like 14.5 with how much this bullpen's been working lately. I mean, is it just an insane roster resource page to pull up right now? Oh my God. It's like Tetris. A lot of dudes having to pitch a lot of random innings, man. Taijuan Walker didn't even really have to eat it all that much. They were pretty efficient getting out of there. 29 for Alvarado, 26 for Bowlen, and 23 for Miza. Oh, my lordy. All right, Tanera, you're killing me today. You're absolutely killing me. That is just some wild shit. Whew. Here we go. I do like the painter under. Minus 105. Strikeouts, that is. So nice to be able to look at it, have some priors, and then also know that you're getting the best price available, top-down approach. Life is good. Minus 125 at Novig, more than playable. Just fine by me. I know that we're looking at minus 116 here, price probability being smart about such things, but... All right. Cool. Anyway, some good process there, some good talking through it. And again, at the end of the day, it comes down to getting a good price, comes down to being able to capitalize on it. And also comes down to protecting your Bet365 account like the last shopper leaving the island. Logan Gilbert all the way up to 7.5 here at plus 118. I'm entertaining this, man. I've been staring at this for a while today. This morning, people naturally get up, have cereal, and just stare at a prop for an hour, right? Dog, this Seattle lineup. We saw Gilbert give up some power, some pop right off the bat. Chase DeLauder just went completely apeshit. He probably went from saying, who's this guy batting second, to being like, I'm not throwing to that guy again for a while, thank God. Man. It's really starting to get, it's really, really close for me. So Grisham, there's some strikeouts. Logan Judge, there's some strikeouts. Bellinger, not as much. Ben Rice, not as much. Stanton, of course. Jazzy Jazz, of course. McMahon, of course. And no one could talk to a horse, of course. Wells, Cavallero. I mean, there are strikeouts everywhere. Now, they're one of the best hitting teams in baseball. You go back to any sample size for versus righties. Yeah, 30.6% K rate, only an 85 WRC plus so far this season. That's pretty insane. 98 plate attempts. Again, not a huge amount of sample size, so we don't have to. Why is it not updating for this data range? Very confused. Fangraphs changed overnight on me. Just feels foreign right now. All the things I literally did last night just feel. Here we go. Alrighty. We got ourselves some fascinating stuff here. So the Yankees, 23.4% K rate. That's right up there around 5th last season. They have basically the exact same lineup. They're not going to have Ramon Rosario out there against a righty. Cody Bellinger, Ben Rice, Grisham. I guess the one guy missing is Jason Dominguez. And, well, the left side is his technically preferred side, but he is not a switch hitter. He just needs to go back to AAA and just sit out his days, live out his days, and realize he's not going to be a right-handed hitter in baseball ever. Anyway, I look at Logan Gilbert at this kind of a price. I get it. One start does not a pitcher make, and 14.3% barrel percentage, you would have gotten hooked on that 7. I think this is going to be a better strikeout matchup come season's end. And if he gives up a bomb to Judge, if he gives up a bomb to Rice, if he gives up a bomb here or there, as long as it doesn't have him working counts like crazy. I don't know. Sims liked it. 36.4% whiff on. I mean, just. I'm not even a big Logan Gilbert guy. So it's almost ironic, don't you think? It's like rain. Preferred that the breaking stuff was actually good for a day. That would have been fun. But you're telling me that we were getting enough swing and miss as is without even that much coming in, like a 0% on the cutter. 0% whiff percentage on the cutter. And we got that pitch count too. Oh, Logan. Such a good ballpark for pitchers. 86. Started to get beat up a little bit. I guess Estee Lauder, that'll do it to you. So I do like the idea. I'm going to keep that on the back burner for now. If you're absolutely looking for another play, oh, it's come down now. Well, whatever. Plus 120 would still be advantageous. It's got green next to your screen for a reason. Decent from top down, and then working through some of the numbers on it. I get it. Terrifying to have 7.5 this early in an MLB season and be like, oh, I like the over, but I like the over. All right. We got one bet down. We took the under of Painter, strikeouts. We are looking at the over strikeouts there. Bubba Chandler, I bet that earlier this morning. You can still get Bubba Chandler. I think it's still advantageous. So we focused a lot on K-props out of the middle of nowhere. I broke down Corey Seager, what I was looking at for that today. Do you guys have any questions for me? Things that you want to look at, plays that you potentially have, because then I'm probably going to bolt at the 30-minute mark. I got like 12 minutes. If you have something that you've been looking at or something that you want to get a breakdown of, but otherwise I need to do some sim stuff. I need to get myself looking at the DFS side of things as well for NBA tonight and start looking at some NBA stuff. Ooh, Ooh, we get to talk math. Eric, I'm on the last day of my $300 bonus bet sign up here in Arkansas. I've got about $100 left and it will expire tomorrow. Give me the nut pick. All right. So this is not a bonus bet. It is a bonus bet. So my question is, what's your bankroll size and how much is $100 important to you? Because it's not like you bet this 100, you get it's not $100 you're wagering to try to lock in your bankroll, I'm assuming. So we want to be looking at something plus 250, plus 300 or greater. Your expected value on bonus bets goes up as you bypass that threshold, as you move to plus 400, plus 500. So 3K in your FanDuel account. Awesome. So if you're making $100 your standard unit bet, you could just utilize it as a bet. But the thing is that that stake, trying to think of the right way to explain it, because again, a bonus bet, when you sign up at a book and you're able to take advantage, knowing that that money is not coming back, replenishing your account, there's a way that you have an opportunity to really take some calculated shots. I would be looking at plus 250, plus 300 or greater. I think Cleveland money line is probably the first thing off the top of my head. I do like Shohei Ohtani a lot. And I'm much higher than the market is on Shohei Ohtani in general. It's flattened out to some extent where I don't really want to be firing plus 100. I saw there's a plus 110 earlier this morning on the over. Thought about betting it. I kept it off just because, Ohtani gets into a jam third, fourth inning. There's a chance that they just go very, very, very conservative with his pitch count right from the get-go. Even though he's been worked up, he's set to go for pitch count. But if you consider that $100 to be part of your bankroll, you have $3,100 and you're just trying to look for a winning bet, don't take this advice. But considering it's $100 that they're giving you that you just get to fire off and you have to use it today, I would be looking at something greater than plus 250, plus 300, and maybe combining this with something else just to get yourself over that threshold. But I'm on the verge of betting Cleveland money line. It keeps sneaking up, plus 224. It was sitting inside of plus 200 last night when I looked over here. And obviously I'm sharing Odd Shopper yet again. Look how nice our screen is. We have a bunch of presets you can now set up here as well. There's a code down there, Lindy OS, I think for 30% off if you guys are looking to sign up, because it's fun to be able to utilize. But let's look at DraftKings specifically, because that's what I use for my videos. That's what I've used for years for my videos, just to give you a baseline. If I have to use another book, I will. But this thing, so early in the morning, we can back it up. So start my research process, and you can see here, plus 194, 9 p.m. This is like the yodeler on Price is Right. Yodeloody, 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 yo, lody, yo, lody, yo, lody, yo, lody, yo. Yeah, there's that. So the whole point is that this continues to go against Shohei Ohtani. I had a feeling it might. I had a very, very good feeling that it might. And I obviously leaned the over of Shohei Ohtani, was looking at potential K ladders. I think it's out of the question now. I don't think it can go on the card. But Cleveland money line still could. And you're getting 2.5 to 1. The math of bonus bets is traditionally getting yourself plus 300 or greater on anything. I remember signing up for a billion sports books 8, 9, 10 years ago. And that was, again, I'm lucky that I had a really good tutor, a really good poker player who, was telling me the math of expected value and trying to explain to me why you want to take long shots, why it is that you want to be taking something that's plus 400, plus 500. Doesn't mean you're going to win it a majority of the time, but when they're staking you and giving you incentive that is not actually money that is considered into your bankroll there, I think you should be firing something longer. And BetMGM plus 220, maybe pairing that with like your favorite other play on the board that's, like a standard minus 110, having it parlayed north of plus 350, plus 400, any way you possibly can. So like, I can do this for the American odds for this. So if you get something that is 220 and minus 150, minus 110, I guess minus 115, almost the math worked out perfect for me there, where you're getting paid 4-1. This is kind of what I would be looking at. Cleveland money line plus your favorite, and hit me up afterwards to let me know if you ended up cashing it. But you're able to make a big swing with money that isn't technically yours yet. That's the beauty of bonus bets. And then you can really get into the nitty gritty of everyday grind, get your volume down, top down betting, bottom up betting, how to make projections, how to check in on things. And again, I love when it checks both sides of the equation, but right now the Dodgers sitting here at 0.3%. We got the true odds a little bit higher there. I am far more inclined to be firing the Cleveland money line side of that. I'm always aiming plus 300 or greater. That's how I used all my bonus bets on DK from that for the king of the court. What a good man you are, J Metal K. You might have learned from the best. Well, actually, no, I'm very average, but I know more than most, I think. And obviously, J Metal K is extremely sharp when it comes to top-down betting. Eric, are you going live for NBA? On the Stochastic YouTube channel at 6 p.m., 3 p.m. Pacific, I will be doing fantasy. I will not be doing the NBA Pick'em show today, but I will have NBA Pick'em. I'll make sure I put one for free over on Tails, mainly because it hit yesterday and I'm feeling spicy. Your boy's feeling spicy. Again, had loser 0.1 unit. Well, this is probably going to lose. Let's be serious. It's 1,500 to 1, but neither here nor there. 0.1 unit there. Lost that one because LeBron James ended up short of 23 points, which is hilarious on a day he puts up a triple-double and makes me more money. It's fine. Dennis Jenkins, yeah, we hit this one last night for 163. That was nice to throw together for. I threw that one out free. I've generally been keeping the underdog ones behind the paywall because they pay the best. And those lines are starting to move really fast. Like, they've always moved fast, but they are moving like the second that I post them. But last night, it was late enough where I was like, I don't think anybody's going to mind. And you were able to get that card almost the entire night. So that was good. Too many people took both double donks into Luke. I bet I might have done some evil things today, but if one of them hits, could you imagine? Lindy, what's the best alternative if I live in a state that doesn't have DFS or underdog? I shall tell you. We have a tail button that exists on Tails. So if you go over here and you click on the tail button, like, let's find something that's on the main page for today. Okay. So here's this ridiculous parlay from me. So shout out me for that. But, oh, shit. Clicked on the wrong thing. Give me 1 second. So Tails, if you're on the Odd Chopper screen, you click on this, or you go to tails.bet/Lindy to find me, or just tails.bet, or oddchopper.com/expert-picks. Get up there. Odd Chopper by Stochastic. Good stuff. But this is Tails. And Tails, friends, has some good stuff. Like my guy, J Metal K here. He posts this for his VIP. That's some good, lovely stuff. It shows your VIP stuff. You can also change it so that, you can have it just be the sports you're looking for. Let's say I'm looking for an NBA play for today. All right. We can make that happen. Got my guy, EMAC DFS, throwing some stuff up there. DK DFS, talking about Collins Lopez. Ooh, I'm going to be interested to read about that. He's on both of them for today. There is no Isaiah Jackson. Woo, he isn't playing. But we got this. Denny, Drew, John Collins. I can click on Tail All. No sports books available for the fantasy scores. So you can see the fantasy scores aren't going to have that available. But we got Mullins hits, 4.5 assists, Durant PRA for a taco. You're able to go to underdog. Now, Kevin Durant, 27.5 PRA not available there. I'm pretty sure we understand why it would be. At 365, you're able to tail that. Make sure you're checking what those odds are that he's being given on something because it's plus 500 there. And make sure you're getting something comparable. Now, when you remove a leg from the equation, see how it goes to plus 227. You could add that leg at the standard number in, and you're going to be able to see what it is. But you can just literally do this, and it'll tail it directly to the book from here, from this screen. That's useful. We call that useful. quick king of the court. All right, I'll give you a king of the court. This is an MLB research show. Fine. We talked through some process for an hour and a half. I think people are happy. Hit that like button if you could for me as well. It goes a long way for me in this video. It goes a long way for you because that's what I say every single video. It makes my life easier. I don't have to think about how I intro stuff. That's why I like it. So otherwise I get self-conscious. I get scared of being a nobody. Happy I'll give you a smooch. I wanna kiss your lower. All right. So we got Luke at 48.5. He is we're just gonna say it. He's your favorite to go over tonight. And I think you are very much fighting an uphill battle to get there, but I'm obviously always looking for value. Cooper Flagg is gonna play again without Najee Marshall, and he played abysmal, and everybody played abysmal for Dallas last night. I don't know if I get all the minutes upside that I'm looking for in that one. Grayson Allen comes back to kind of mute a little bit of what we're looking at for Booker, sitting at 35.5. But if you're not going to play Luka Doncic, they're playing Cleveland. It's a very difficult spot to envision this not being a spot. Paolo Banchero looks okay, but I'm probably inclined to go even a little bit longer on somebody that I think could go completely ballistic. And that is, of course, Alperen Sengun. He's only at 33.5 right now. Taking on a Knicks team, though, that has some centers, some very, very viable centers in Mitchell Robinson, Karl Anthony Towns. He's taking on a massive workload here for Houston. And maybe Tari Eason can keep knocking down shots, creating assist opportunities. But really, a majority of your PRA comes by way of the points, and then you get everything else bolstering it. Luka is going to be very, very difficult to beat tonight. We have seen in very recent as last game, Alperen Sengun has the ability to put 50 PRA up. Kevin Durant, I think, has a higher PRA, and I think I prefer Alperen Sengun to Kevin Durant. Yeah, Luka is by far your favorite to go way over. That just kind of is what it is. But we covered 3 different K props. We covered multiple angles and home runs. We covered how to put together some leaderboards for yourself over on StatCast. We went through some sample sizes, some new pitchers, some old pitchers. We, kept it a pretty narrow focus to a couple of games on this particular one. We talked through bonus bet process. I'm going to call that a good hour and a half. So if you appreciated it, if you enjoyed this kind of programming, being able to talk through process rather than just get my plays night before, which again, very fruitful, has its place. I'm putting in that work for you constantly, doing the best I can to give you the best betting information that I can. Well, that's always good stuff, but also jump on in the Discord because that's where you can actually get all of my plays here. Ooh, Steph Curry upgraded to doubtful for Thursday. All right, that's still probably not playing, but promo code first pitch. Last day to take advantage. This is coming off the board tonight. Promo code first pitch, 50% off there. And then also, because we love you and I love you, Lindy exclusive deal, Lindy OS, 30% off. 30% off any of the OddsShopper weekly or monthly plans. That is down in the video description box below. Lindy OS. Check out the best tools in the game. Again, we were able to find ourselves some top-down value in addition to walking through some of the projections, which again, never a bad way to go about it. Most people should be practicing some version of top-down betting. It's going to help you long-term. Simply find the best prices at the best books and be much, much happier over the long term. Lots of cool changes coming your way here at OddsShopper on this screen. So that's good stuff overall. But I appreciate you all. Until next time, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Probably do some NBA pick'em. I think there's a massive NBA slate tomorrow, right? Am I just making stuff up? This is about the time I go into NBA mode for a while. 9 games in the NBA streets. Yeah, I say we do NBA and MLB pick'em tomorrow morning. I say we do NBA and MLB pick'em tomorrow morning. Don't you? You can keep watching. Keep watching today. You're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. Sorry, I don't have any AHL plays right now, but Lynn Goat, I appreciate you so much. So good to see you. You got a busy night tonight, Lindy. I know. especially because I need to get that MLB one out much earlier because it's morning baseball. Tomorrow's our first let's tune out of work and pretend like we're actually there when we're really not day of work of the year. Opening day, I know a lot of people take off. Thursday, they just sit around and watch baseball. Beautiful thing. But tomorrow, we fuck around in the office. All right. Love you all. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Same time, different time. Probably it'll be 7 a.m. Probably 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. We'll see you then.